Hi, I'm Sean from Dallas, Texas. As a constant listener of your tremendous and amazing YouTube channel, a few questions cause a stir in me and wanting me to ask you. Do you despise religion in general? Are you against any and all organized religion? What about the followers of the faith? All of these I've been wanting to ask and have you answer. Thank you and continue your excellent work.
I appreciate that. I don't despise any religious person. I don't hate any followers of religion at all. Even cult members who are like really brainwashed and really, really destructive forces in the world. I don't hate them even. I feel for them and wish I could find some way to get them out of that mindset. Ultimately, I think that they are victims of the cult, victims of the extremist ideology, and that's how they got to where they are. So no, I don't hate any adherents of religion, but your second part to the question was, do I hate religion? I don't think that religion has any valid usefulness in society. Everything that religion purports to do for people can be achieved by other means. You want charitable contributions, you want, donations set up to help the homeless or the poor or whatever. You don't need religion for that shit. You can get that stuff outside of it. But religion does provide damaging and dangerous ideas and philosophies and beliefs. Anytime society has tried to make progress in any way, religion has always been there behind it, doing its best to stop it. Religion was trying to stop the Civil Rights Act. It was trying to stop black people in America from being viewed as equals. It's been against LGBT rights from the beginning. They used the Bible to justify slavery in the 1800s. Religion has always been there, causing problems for society. So in my opinion, if not for those reasons, then for this reason alone, it's preferable to believe as few false things as possible. Even for that reason alone, I don't like the fact that religion exists. But I don't hate anybody for anything. I don't hate religious adherence or anything like that.
Hey, Owen, this is Jordan. I'm from South Carolina. I've called a few times. Few things. First, I just want to congratulate you and your wife on the wedding. That's very awesome. My wife and I actually just celebrated our 4th wedding anniversary last month, so kudos to you guys. And question for you is, do you have any advice for someone who's raising a child in a secular home? Our daughter is about 1.5 years old, and I just wondered any advice you have on raising her outside of religion. Thanks, bud. Have a good one.
We live in a Christian nation in the U.S., by and large. We live in a Christian society if you live in European countries or the U.S. A lot of European countries are not really religious. Like the U.K. isn't terribly religious, but it's still heavily Christian in many ways. You have to be aware of the fact that the people around you and the people around your kid are going to cram it down their throats in subtle ways without you even realizing it. So I would recommend you teach your kid critical thinking skills from a very early age. That's what I tried to do with Kylie. Critical thinking skills and logical thinking. Take them through logical steps and teach them about logical fallacies and things like that, so that when they hear something, they automatically start to question it and poke holes in it and try to figure things out. Even going to school, their friends in school are going to try to cram religion down their throats to some degree, especially if you live in the U.S. So just make sure they're ready for it when that time comes. That'd be my recommendation.
Hey, Owen, this is James from Pittsburgh. I have a question. What percentage of Christians would you say that have read the Bible, and I mean from beginning to end, what percentage would you say they would come out still being Christians? I can't really see the number being extremely high because I'm starting to read this and I saw a lot of red flags. The biggest probably being that with the great flood that you touched upon a few weeks back, Noah was 600 years old when the flood happened, and he lived for 350 more years. Why was life expectancy so much better then, is what I'd like to know. Anyway, that's my question for today. I hope to hear your answer, and you have a wonderful evening and a great week.
I appreciate that. I'll give you the answer that my mom gave to me. I asked that question when I was little. How did they grow to be so old? Basically, my mom's answer was, we are so far removed from the sin that took place, Adam and Eve's sin, that we live for a lot less time. They were so close to the source of when it happened. They were supposed to live forever. So as time went on, their lives got shorter and shorter and shorter because they were getting so far away from perfection, basically. In retrospect, that explanation doesn't really make any sense at all, right? I mean, they're trying to make sense of something that's completely nonsensical. You're trying to apply reason and rationality to people who don't have it. You're trying to, poke holes in something, which I encourage, don't get me wrong. I think we should be poking holes like that. It's important to poke those holes, but you can't expect them to recognize when those holes are being poked. Now, as far as people reading the Bible and becoming atheist, I don't think it would be a lot of people, honestly, because in the United States especially, people grew up with a cultural context around Christianity. They've been hearing these stories stated as fact since they were little kids, that Noah lived to be like 600 or whatever, or Methuselah was like 900 and something years old. They have the cultural context where they believed this stuff from the very beginning, like from when they were little kids, so it's not so unbelievable to them. If you took somebody who had never heard of the Bible before and you gave it to them and they read through it and you said, now everything in this book is factual and there are no errors in it, people would see right through it instantly. They'd recognize it was complete nonsense from the start. The reason people don't see it as nonsense is because they grew up being told that it was real from the start. That's really the problem.
Hello, my name is Max, and I live in Kansas. I just had a question. So I, about a week ago, left Christianity after being, a Bible literalist. But I was just curious, because I left Christianity, but I still like the morals that the New Testament teaches. I was just curious, do you still like the morals that the New Testament teaches?
I appreciate that. Let me ask you something. Why don't you like the morals that the Old Testament teaches? Is there a reason why? You picked which morals you liked. This isn't the Bible defining which morals you should have. This is you looking at a big-ass list of morals and deciding which ones are correct. You didn't need the Bible to tell you which ones were right, because the Bible has a list of reprehensible, evil morals in the Old Testament. Pro-slavery and all kinds of other stuff. You and I recognize that's wrong. You looked at the New Testament and recognized some of them were good. You aren't letting the Bible judge your morals. You are judging the Bible's morals. That's the thing. Did the Bible get it correct on a couple of things? Yeah, 100% it did. The Bible got it correct that you should love your neighbor as yourself, and that you shouldn't do any harm to the people around you, that you should have respect for people and all that other stuff. But you don't have to look very far to find the Bible endorsing the exact opposite of those moral values. That's why you picked the New Testament morals to adhere to, rather than the Old Testament ones.